Imagine yourself walking through ancient university courtyards. You are studying in a city rich with history and culture. This is the European dream for many students around the world. You have polished your grades and perfected your personal statement. But there is another tool in your application arsenal, one that is often underestimated. This tool is your letter of recommendation, or LOR. Think of it as your secret weapon. It is a powerful testament to your abilities, brought to life by someone who has seen you in action. This letter can transform your application from a flat piece of paper into a vibrant, three-dimensional portrait of you as a promising student. Many applicants focus intensely on test scores and essays. They believe these are the only things that matter. While those elements are certainly crucial, they only tell part of your story. A strong LOR adds a layer of depth that you cannot create on your own. It provides an external, professional perspective on your character, skills, and potential. European universities receive thousands of applications from talented students. They are looking for candidates who are not just academically strong, but also collaborative, resilient, and passionate. Your LOR is your chance to have a respected mentor vouch for these qualities, making your application truly stand out from the crowd. This letter is not merely a formality or a box to be checked. It is a strategic component of your application package. It serves as a personal endorsement, a character reference from a credible source who can speak to your readiness for higher education in a European setting. A well-written LOR can bridge the gap between your stated ambitions in your personal statement and your proven abilities in the classroom or workplace. It confirms that your dreams are backed by real-world performance and the endorsement of those who have guided your academic journey so far. It's a powerful tool for building trust with the admissions committee. So as you prepare to chase your European dream, do not overlook this vital element. The right letter of recommendation can be the key that unlocks the door to your chosen university. It's the voice that speaks for you when you are not in the room. It's the proof that your potential is recognized by others. In the competitive landscape of European admissions, a compelling LOR is not just helpful, it is essential. It is your opportunity to let a trusted guide shine a light on your best qualities and help you secure your place in a classroom across the ocean. A letter of recommendation provides something that no other part of your application can: external validation. Your grades show what you have learned. Your personal statement shows who you say you are. But an LOR shows who a professor or supervisor has observed you to be. This adds a powerful layer of credibility to your entire application. European universities value this third-party perspective because it helps them verify the claims you make about yourself. It's one thing to write about your passion for research. It's another to have a professor describe your dedication and insightful contributions during a complex lab project. This kind of proof is invaluable. Furthermore, LORs offer a window into your personal traits beyond academics. Admissions committees in Europe are interested in more than just your intellect. They want to know if you are a good collaborator, a creative problem solver, and a resilient individual. Can you handle the pressure of rigorous academic work far from home? A strong LOR can highlight these qualities with specific anecdotes. A recommender might describe how you led a group project through a difficult phase, or how you responded constructively to critical feedback. These stories paint a picture of your character and emotional maturity, qualities that are essential for success in a new cultural and academic environment. The letter also helps admissions officers determine your fit for their specific program. A generic letter is not very useful. A great LOR, however, is tailored. It connects your skills and experiences directly to the opportunities and focus of the program you are applying to. For instance, if you are applying for a master's in sustainable development, a letter from a geography professor detailing your research on local water conservation is incredibly persuasive. It demonstrates a genuine, long-standing interest and a proven aptitude for the field. This shows the committee that you have a clear purpose and are likely to thrive in their academic community. Finally, a letter of recommendation is powerful evidence of your potential for growth. An effective recommender does not just list your past achievements, they also comment on your trajectory. They can talk about how you have developed over time, perhaps from a shy student into a confident class participant, or from someone with a basic interest into a dedicated researcher. This narrative of growth is compelling to European universities, which see themselves as institutions that nurture talent. They are not just admitting the student you are today, they are investing in the professional and academic leader you have the potential to become. The first and most important rule in selecting a recommender is to choose someone who knows you well. A letter from a famous professor who only knows your name will not be as effective as a letter from a junior lecturer who supervised your thesis. The strength of an LOR comes from its personal insights and specific examples. Your recommender needs to be able to write about more than just your grade in their class. They should be able to comment on your intellectual curiosity, your work ethic, and your personality. Think about the instructors who have seen you participate actively in discussions, who have guided you on a project, or who have mentored you in some capacity. Next, consider the recommender's relevance to your chosen field of study. While a letter from any professor who thinks highly of you is good, a letter from a professor within your target discipline is even better. If you are applying to a computer science program in Germany, a glowing letter from your computer science professor carries more weight than one from your history professor. The admissions committee wants to see evidence of your aptitude in the specific area you wish to pursue. This person can speak with authority about your skills and potential for success in that particular academic world, making their endorsement highly credible and directly applicable. Enthusiasm is another key factor. You want to ask someone who genuinely wants to support your journey and will be happy to write a strong positive letter for you. You can often gauge this during your interactions with them. Do they seem invested in their students' success? Have they offered you encouragement in the past? When you consider asking someone, try to sense their willingness. A recommender who is burdened or unenthusiastic may write a generic or lukewarm letter, which can do more harm than good. Your ideal champion is someone who is not only able, but also excited to advocate for you and celebrate your strengths. Finally, think about diversity in your recommenders if you need more than one letter. For example, you might choose one professor who can speak to your research abilities and another who can comment on your collaborative skills in a team-based learning environment. If you have relevant work or internship experience, a letter from a supervisor can provide a different, valuable perspective on your professionalism and practical skills. This combination gives the admissions committee a more well-rounded and complete picture of who you are. Choosing your recommenders is a strategic decision. Pick the people who can collectively tell your most compelling story. Timing and courtesy are everything when you ask for a letter of recommendation. The golden rule is to ask early, at least 1 month before the deadline, and even earlier if possible. Professors and supervisors are busy people, and a last-minute request is not only inconsiderate but also unlikely to result in a thoughtful, high-quality letter. Whenever possible, ask in person during their office hours. This shows respect for their time and allows you to have a proper conversation about your plans. A face-to-face request is much more personal and effective than a hastily written email, as it helps reinforce your connection and demonstrates your seriousness about the application. When you make your request, you must equip your recommender for success. Do not just ask for a letter. Provide them with a comprehensive brag sheet or information packet. This packet should include your updated resume or CV, your personal statement or statement of purpose for the program, and a list of the universities and programs you are applying to, along with their deadlines. It is also incredibly helpful to include a list of your key projects or assignments from their class, with a brief reminder of your achievements. This saves them time and helps them recall specific details to include in their letter. Be specific about what you would like them to highlight. You can gently guide them by reminding them of specific instances where you believe you excelled. For example, you could say, "I was particularly proud of the research paper I wrote on renewable energy policies for your class, and I was hoping you might be able to comment on my analytical skills in that project." This is not being demanding. It is being helpful. You are providing them with concrete examples that they can use to build a strong, evidence-based letter. This helps them move beyond generic praise and write something that is rich with detail and personal observation. Finally, always follow up and show your gratitude. After your initial request, send a polite reminder email about 2 weeks before the deadline. Once the letter has been submitted, send a thank you note or email expressing your sincere appreciation for their time and support. And when you get accepted, be sure to share the good news with them. Your recommenders are invested in your success, and they will be delighted to hear about your achievements. Building and maintaining these professional relationships is important not just for your application, but for your entire academic and professional future, a little gratitude goes a long way. One of the most frequent mistakes students make is submitting a generic letter. This often happens when a recommender does not know the student well or is not given enough information. A letter that says, "Maria was a good student and received an A in my class," is almost useless. It provides no depth or personal insight. To avoid this, you must choose recommenders who can speak about you with specific examples and anecdotes. Give them the tools they need, like your brag sheet and personal statement, so they can tailor their letter to your unique strengths and goals. A personalized letter is always more powerful than a generic template. Another major pitfall is choosing the wrong recommender. Students are often tempted to ask the most senior or famous professor in a department, even if they had little interaction with them. This is a mistake. A letter from a well-known academic who cannot say much about you is far less valuable than a detailed, enthusiastic letter from a teaching assistant who led your weekly seminars and knows your work inside and out. The recommender's title is less important than the content and conviction of their letter. Choose someone who can genuinely vouch for your abilities, work ethic and character based on direct experience. Failing to provide context or specific examples is a common error that weakens a letter. Your recommender may have taught hundreds of students and may not remember the details of your performance 2 years ago. It is your responsibility to remind them. When you ask for the letter, mention the specific class you took, the grade you earned, and any standout projects or papers you completed. Remind them of a specific discussion you led or a question you asked that sparked a great conversation. These details are the raw material they will use to build a compelling narrative about you, transforming a vague letter into a powerful endorsement. Finally, a negative tone or even a lukewarm letter can be disastrous. This is why it is so important to choose someone who is genuinely enthusiastic about supporting you. If you sense any hesitation when you ask, it might be better to find someone else. Also, never focus only on grades in your supporting documents. A great LOR will speak about your resilience, creativity, teamwork, and passion, qualities that grades alone cannot capture. The admissions committee is building a community, not just a classroom of high achievers. Ensure your letters paint a picture of a whole person who will contribute positively to that community. European universities are increasingly adopting a holistic review process for applications. This means they are looking beyond simple numbers like grades and test scores. They want to understand you as a complete individual, your motivations, your character, and your potential to contribute to their academic community. In this context, your letters of recommendation are not just a supporting document, they are a central piece of the puzzle. They provide a nuanced, qualitative assessment that balances the quantitative data in the rest of your file. A strong set of LORs can elevate a good application to an exceptional one. Your recommenders become your advocates in the admissions process. They have the credibility and the perspective to highlight your best attributes in a way that you cannot. While your personal statement allows you to tell your own story, your LORs allow respected mentors to validate and enrich that story. They can speak to your intellectual horsepower, your collaborative spirit, and your resilience in the face of challenges. This external validation is incredibly persuasive to an admissions committee that is trying to distinguish between hundreds of highly qualified candidates. It is the proof that your self-assessment is accurate and recognized by others in an academic or professional setting. Think of your application as a team effort. You have done your part by earning good grades, writing a thoughtful essay, and preparing your materials. Now it is time to pass the baton to your chosen champions, your recommenders. By selecting them carefully, preparing them thoroughly, and asking them respectfully, you empower them to write the best possible letter on your behalf. You are essentially curating the narrative that the admissions committee will see. This strategic approach to your LORs shows maturity and a deep understanding of the application process, which in itself is impressive to admissions officers. Ultimately, your dream of studying in Europe is within reach. The path there requires careful planning, hard work, and a compelling application. Do not let your letters of recommendation be an afterthought. See them as your opportunity to let others shine a light on your greatest strengths and unique potential. A powerful, personal, and positive LOR can be the decisive factor that opens the door to the university of your dreams. Let the voices of your mentors amplify your own, and watch as they help you turn your European academic aspirations into a reality. Your story is powerful, and with their help, it will be heard.